Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Oh, hi, Blue Jay. We seem to have lost Jewel and 8, which is fine. We don't need them. It's cool.
It's only one half of each of the teams.
Yeah, that's right. We still have.
Jewel's sleeping. So
Yeah, Jewel's asleep. And 8's in shutdown mode. So I guess we'll start with Makaria while we're waiting for Jewel and 8 to come back. So, Makaria, you are going to go to a tavern.
yes.
Let's call it the Gilded Account.
Gross.
And it's in the neighborhood, in that rich person neighborhood, and you've dressed yourself up as a noble. Is that the idea? Okay, all right. So you dress yourself up as a noble, and you're going to go try to blend in.
Yes.
Okay, so you're not. It's a disguise in the sense that you're not trying. You're just a dressed up Makaria.
Yeah. I mean, I think that maybe I guess it's a disguise, but I'm not like trying to be not myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a page from the old Hot Circle. Let's have you make a disguise kit check.
I don't have a disguise kit.
So it's just a flat charisma roll with no proficiency bonus. Okay, so what does Makaria describe Makaria's outfit? Makaria attempts to look like a noble, but doesn't do a great job of it.
So what happens is she goes into like a shop nearby because she just gets this idea in her head and she doesn't like do a lot of pre-planning, right? We're just like going around. And she goes into the shop and she's like, okay, I have to look like a noble. And someone comes up to her to talk to her to like a salesperson. And the second they start talking to her, she's like, oh my God, you're the most annoying person I've ever met. And probably just points to the nearest thing and is like, just give me that. Because she wants to be out of there. Like, she doesn't want to talk to them at all. They're really annoying. And it's probably ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of like outfits for Lyra's night, right? Because that's coming up.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's all yeah. Purple.
So she was just she walked in and she was like, I'm gonna dress like a noble, and then someone actually came up to help her and she's like, oh my God, no, I hate you, I'm leaving now, but I have to do this thing. So like she bought this outfit that's actually a costume, but she thinks that it's like,
oh my God, so you're just wearing a Halloween costume like clothes.
She thinks that it's what nobles actually
it's like the
wear.
rest of your life. You're pretty much okay, good, but now you're just somebody else's costume. Okay, all right, so you're just dressed up like you're too early for the party. You're dressed way over the top.
Sure.
What does it look like? Give me I want a visual of
is Lyra like, is there any like colors or
make a religion check?
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm dressed like a noble.
Right, but Makaria, I mean, you know.
I mean, we remember what Floon's costume was like for a Lyra or whatever.
Yeah, sorry, it's pronounced Lyra.
Lyra.
Yeah.
Valera.
Lyra, yeah.
Oh, got it.
Oh, this is so good. Lyra's priests and priestesses are called joy bringers.
Oh, fuck.
They wear brightly colored outfits and dress themselves with rubies and sapphires. They're known for always having a smile on their lips. And it's unheard of to see one dressed with a frown. You are totally dressed up like a priest of Lyra. You completely are.
Good. Except for she's like, she's the pouting one. She's the one pouting priest of Lyra.
That's going to make it hard for them to believe that that's the case.
I mean, I rolled a 2 on this thing. So like that's the whole like point, right?
Yes.
Is that
I mean,
failed.
the funny bit of the gag will be Makaria trying to pretend, not just being her own surly self, because that'll make it more difficult. But you have to pretend to be like, unless you just don't care, in which case...
Yeah, I mean, she's trying, but she's just, not great at it. She has a 0. At least it's not one of my negative stats, which I have 2.
Okay.
So
you walk in...
3. I have 3. I'm sorry. I have 3 negative stats.
You walk into the Gilded Account, and there is a nice, like, late lunch service going on. People eating delicate sandwiches. There is someone playing a lute in the corner. There's a bit of a breeze kind of blowing through the opening. It's like a cafe with some tables and chairs outside, and then a breezy interior.
She's doing that thing that cheerleaders do when they put like Vaseline on their teeth so that they can't actually like close their mouth over their teeth. So it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you walk in, immediately your ostentatious Lyran outfit draws the attention of near everyone in the room. There's a lot of looks of like, aren't you dressed up a bit early? Like, oh my God, who's this woman? Why is she like this? But a waiter approaches you, a young half-elven man approaches you, and he's smiling, and he walks up. He's got a little apron on, and he says, "Why, priestess, you're early. We hadn't anticipated your blessings until this evening. I don't think that the kitchen's ready for you."
Yes, well, better early than not, right? I'm here to prepare.
Yes.
For...
Yes, of course. Well, why don't we give you a tour of the facility? Come, please. And he's just like, this way. And he takes you into the back.
Sure.
And in the back, there is a team of like 6 bakers, all kind of bustling around in the back of the gilded account. And the leader, the head baker, is a halfling who is standing on a box, and she's giving everybody orders. And on the table, there is half finished a spread of delicacies. So they have like cupcakes with pink icing. There are candied fruits. Like there's just all this food. And when they walk in, the chef yells at the waiter and is like, "What? Why is she here? We're not ready."
This isn't official. I'm new, and I wanted to make sure that I had everything correct.
"Well, we have neither time nor room for an acolyte, so get out of my kitchen." And the waiter looks at you like, "Oh, I'm sorry that she's yelling at you."
Yes. Well, perhaps we should. And I like, sure, yeah, I'm not here for the kitchen anyway. So and then I think she's probably like, well, that didn't go like I'd planned. When I do come later, are there any regulars that I should pay special attention to?
And he says, "Well, I had hoped, Joybringer, before we spoke of the guest list, that you would join me in a blessing for the establishment. I'm quite the devotee myself, and I was hoping." And he reaches out and he's like holding your hands, and he says, "I was hoping that you would join me in a prayer to Lyra."
Does that blessing involve wine? I'm rather nervous.
And he says, "Oh, there's no need to be nervous. Simply, how is it that the priesthood says, feel the divine light within you and let it spring forth from your tongue?"
Can the blessing involve wine?
Perhaps later.
I feel like I'll be much more joyful if the blessing involves wine. Do
you want to try and persuade him to let you have a drink first?
Yes, I need one desperately.
Right, make a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Save me.
He says, perhaps after the blessing, let us begin. And he looks at you and he like takes a deep breath and he's like he's gonna start saying this thing and he wants you to like follow along.
Okay, so is the religion check I made before applicable here, or
no? I think you need to make a specific religion check to recall this very specific like ode to the goddess Lyra.
I'll be very surprised if you know this.
Make this religion check at disadvantage.
All right, sounds good. Joyful as fuck.
Okay, you have no idea what the words are to this prayer. So he starts, he's like, joy, beautiful spark of divinity, daughter of Elysium, we enter, drunk with fun. So make a deception check to see it so he doesn't notice that you're not praying.
I think I'm pretending to do it. Like, is this like a human or a halfling?
He's a half elf.
He's a half elf. Oh, yeah. Fuck!
You can't do it in Elvish.
I'm saying I'm speaking in Celestial, and I'm saying like this motherfucker is the most piece of shit. Okay, so deception check.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, we'll see.
I'll laugh my ass off. He speaks Celestial.
21. He has
Okay.
no clue.
All right. So he finishes. He comes to the end and he says, "Where your gentle wings abide." And he looks at you smiling and he says, That was beautiful, Joybringer. I had never heard it in the heavenly tongue. Truly,
Yes,
a blessing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Now about the
I don't think I've ever heard it delivered with such care before.
I'm very devoted to my god.
He nods and he says, Good. Then you will be ready for the festivities this evening.
I did want to speak to you about your who I should expect. Has anyone?
Yes, would you like to see the guest list?
Yes.
Okay, so he goes into the office and he comes back and he hands you a sheaf of parchment. It's like
And she just like goes through it, obviously looking for a name, right?
Yeah. You don't see Castellanter on there anywhere.
I was told by my superior that it was very important that the Castellanters get the blessing of Lyra.
Whatever the name of my god is. So he says, "Oh, the Castellanters? Oh my, no. If any there were a one who was furthest from joy, truly it would be a Castellanter. They are concerned only with their own well-being and the well-being of their pockets. They're a nasty sort, and certainly none. I could think of no greater humbug than that pair."
Why is it that you think this? Don't you think that they would be even more requiring of the blessings of?
Why, no. Just this last Lyra's night itself, some friends of mine and I, we did go a caroling about the neighborhood, and I stood myself outside Castellanter Villa and sang almost nigh unto an hour, and I got for my efforts rewarded with a feast of rotten vegetables thrown by a servant from behind the gate. A hateful sort, the Castellanters.
Yes, have they done anything else recently that makes you hate them so? I would love to hear.
And you can see him like, I know your trick, priestess. No, for today there is only joy in my heart, even for the Castellanters. Gods bless them, one and all.
Yes, well, that was lovely. Thank you so much. I will surely be prepared now for this evening. Goodbye.
You just walk out.
Yeah, this motherfucker's not gonna tell me anything.
Yeah, and he shouts to you, he's like, "Blessed evening, priestess, thank you."
He touched me. I should kill him.
Okay.
Under her breath.
Yeah. And so you walk out, and when you step outside, you experience something Makaria has never experienced in perhaps her whole life. People passing by in other directions smile and nod to you. You get little like waves, and people are like, "Good morrow, priestess. Hello, Joybringer. Good Lyra's Eve to you." And like people are just being friendly and smiling and like greeting you as they walk by.
This is awful. I hate it. Is there okay? Can I like walk? Because now she's convinced that everyone believes that she's, a Joybringer or what have you.
You did an okay job.
So she's probably like, okay, like now I'll go closer to like the Castellanters and see if there's like anyone there, because this one person at the tavern was unhelpful, and she's just like, okay, I'm done with that now. Okay. So yeah, like go toward the Castellanters and like, because Jewel was on the roof, like looking for people coming in and out, but on the street,
you stride into the street, assured that if you run into trouble, that Jewel will be ready to spring into action to rescue you.
Yeah, right. She'll be ready. She's totally watching out for me.
Coiled like a serpent, ready to leap from the shadows to avenge
Definitely
you.
not sleeping.
Definitely not asleep anywhere. Totally dreaming of vengeance. So I mean, you approach Castellanter Villa, sure.
Is there like anyone like on their way in or out?
No, there's just the guards outside standing sort of stock still.
I go up to the guards.
As you approach, one of the guards puts his hand up and he's like, "Oh, no, we don't want any. We already spoke to you folks. You can take your purple robes and you can keep walking, priest."
Yes, well, unfortunately, I'm determined. Is there no way I can bring joy into the house of the Castellanters this day.
We've strict orders from the Lord and Lady. This is a house of Syamorph, and we've no room for Lyra nor her frippery. Now get you gone.
Not even
I said to thee, good day.
well, I say to thee that I need to speak to your masters.
And the other guard looks you up and down. I think not, priest. And an acolyte at that.
And so begins the combat that ends our whole
Yeah,
campaign.
bum 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 bum. You just start knifing people. Yeah, so they're just like, get out of here.
God, is there anyone else? Maybe.
Right, and as Chad has pointed out, this is the part where Victorio Castellanter bursts out from the window and points. He's like, "You there, priest? What day is it today? Run to the docks and get me the biggest trout you can find." But these guards have been instructed, like, we don't. Lyra's night is not for us. We don't practice. Keep moving.
I can't like think of like personally.
Yeah, that's okay. Like you can just turn and be like, there's a bunch of jerks, and like storm off. And we pan.
Like I wonder how we're gonna find out about that third thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's other things being proceeded. So
Sure.
so this we came to a dead end with this particular plan. We pan up from Makaria, dressed in purple. You got a big like ribbon tied around your neck. You look like a weird present. And we pan up and we see Jewel snoozing peacefully on the roof. There's some like seagulls looking at her. And then we pan up to the sky, we crossfade, and we pan back down on honestly like a pretty placid sea, right? You're floating out there. It's summer. There's a nice breeze across the harbor. The water is calm. There are birds in the sky. The sun is shining, and the sea captain has his coat up around his neck and his hat down low, and he's got the oar in his hand, and he looks at you and he says, "You never know when a storm might come up from nowhere." And you're approaching the gates. I think probably the southern of the two gates. And he points and he says, "The harbor gates. Once we go past those gates, we are in no man's land." He's like slowly paddling.
Well, I mean, I think we'd have to go a little further than just past the gates. But
And he shakes his head and he says, "Yeah, nay. 90% of ship accidents happen within a few furlongs of a harbor. Did you know that?
I didn't.
It's important to be safety-minded about these things."
Well, once we're a little further out, find yourself a place to stop, and we'll get off.
Yeah, so he rows out to about like here, and he stops, and you can see he's nervous, and he's just like, it's like mumbling in sailor to himself. And and now you can see that you're it's just ocean beyond.
So you wait here like last time. We'll be back. And I like take off my cloak and like leave it in there and take out the extra water breathing potion that we have because we got given 4 and 8 doesn't.
They didn't need one. Yep.
Pop it open, drink it, and then just like just sigh and then just jump overboard into the frigid water.
You like hold on to 8 so you sink.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you go overboard, and the captain, we stay with him, and he looks down at the water as the ripples kind of flatten, and he says, "Taimura, watch over him." And he sits down and just like nervously like watches out to sea, waiting for this terrible storm he's sure will come, even though the sky is like clear and beautiful.
Looking out for the terrible storm, then slowly drawing that scroll.
Yeah, my scrolls. So the two of you, you sink down into the water. 8, you've got your shield, so you have some light, and you slowly sink and then land in the silty bay at the bottom.
All right. Well, time to see if we can find any trace of Zelipharn. First of all, perception check to see if there's anything that may indicate to me where Zelipharn is.
Okay.
13.
I'm helping.
Okay, 13.
Okay. All right. So the two of you spend about an hour like walking around, searching at things. There's some, it's like the aquarium set, right? So there's like some bones with a pirate hat and a scabbard like lying in the dirt, and like you scare a crab and he runs off. But eventually, what looks it at first at a distance, because this is the whole like silent like Jacques Cousteau part, where we just see the sweeping searchlight of Eight's shield. You see what looks like a cloud of dust or something in the distance, but as you get closer, you can actually see that it's a piece of what looks like snake skin that's been like abraded off on the side of a rock and is now floating. Just floating in the water. It's caught on the edge of the water.
Okay. Does it look like bronze scale?
Make a nature check. Because
Right.
yeah, it's either what I'm doing here is I'm either like it's bronze dragon scale, or you'll get there and I'll be like it's a giant snake. Roll initiative.
I mean, yeah. Those are our options. 14.
Yes, yeah, it does appear to have a bronze cast to it.
Oh, lovely.
It's a
I
snake,
think
but
I
bronze.
think it's a bronze stick.
Fuck you.
I think from here I go like Zelafarn.
Mhm.
Like call out into the water.
Bubbles come up out of your mouth.
Well, because apparently I can.
No, I
breathe
think
it
breathing
in.
underwater potions let you talk underwater too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you shout for Zelafarn.
Just kind of see if he like is.
He doesn't seem to be in the
nearby.
vicinity. No.
Okay. What else can we do?
I mean, you can continue searching. Right? You can press
Yeah,
on.
I mean, we gotta keep looking. But what I'm thinking is like, I think I turn to 8 and go, hey, 8. Maybe you can direct that light sort of upward, or create sort of more of a cast of it, so that we get kind of a signal thing going here.
Would you like me to use the light language that we use to communicate orders to troops across battlefields by opening and closing this in a very specific order?
Certainly, it would be more attractive if it were turning on and off, and I'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, she's like, ching,
Yeah,
ching.
just spelling
Okay.
dragon in
Spelling out the like "come home" message, like the.
Yeah, I want to go over to this shed skin thing,
Mhm.
and I want some of those scales.
Okay, it's not actually full scales. It's like the kind of like thin like it's not a proper like scale that would have fallen off. This is like a shed skin, yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
I probably don't want magical shed skin. That's
No. I mean, it kind of loses its magical qualities anyway. Okay, so you want to like you flick the light and you wait, and some time passes, maybe an hour or so.
round.
And just when you're feeling like ready to give up, you see in the distance, Rin, movement at the edge of the light.
Zelafarn, is that you?
8, you're trying to like track the movement, like you point the light in that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you catch like the edge of a fin, but you don't get a good glimpse of it as it like it goes out of the light and it comes like around you, and it's getting closer, but it's like moving back and forth.
It's me. We've spoke before. I'm Rin. Hoping to speak to you again.
You like take your sword out and you like shine the light, and you catch something metallic, maybe like, and then the glow of like an eye as it like goes by. And this thing is like making like slow circles around you, getting closer and closer. It's moving quite quickly, like you're having a hard time tracking it with your shield.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes,
stand there.
and like, oh, I'm very scared. You're doing me a very like just very nervous here.
You're frightened.
There's a rush of water from right in front of you, and something kicks up a bunch of silt off the bottom, and it like lifts up into a cloud in front of you, obscuring your sight. So everything has a kind of a dark gray glow, and beyond you see 2 glowing eyes, and then a shape emerges, getting closer and closer. A long sinuous body and the shine of bronze scales as the dragon Zelafarn arrives in front of you and lands in the silt. And he looks at you, and he looks back and forth between the two of you. And he he kind of like cocks his head, like, "What are you guys doing here?"
Oh, social call. We have reason to believe somebody might be looking for you. Somebody with bad intentions.
Hey, I said the last time that we talked that I was going to leave the harbor, and I did. Look, the harbor's over there, and I haven't knocked over any boats or
No,
demanded tribute from anybody.
It's not about that.
All right, because I said I did what you said.
You are doing wonderfully in terms of the bargain that we made.
Well, good. Yes, I am.
And I very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
But as you are, of course, a friend of mine, I like to consider you a friend of mine, negotiatal associate anyway, somebody I've spent time around. We think that there may be a problem, and that some people who are less good intentioned than myself and Ape may come looking for you very shortly.
Well, what kind of people?
The Castlelanters? You ever heard of them?
He shakes his head and he's like,
"No, I didn't think so. They're a noble family from Waterdeep. They're looking to open a vault of treasure."
"Oh, I do like treasure."
Does not everyone, but it's a lot of treasure, and it seems that they need some strange things to open the vault. Vajra Safar recommended I come and tell you that they might be coming here with intentions of harming you and taking something from you. They need something from a bronze dragon, and if I know any recipes from human or general civilized society, it's probably a piece of you that requires you to be dead to have it.
Oh man, why's everything got to be a piece of a dragon? They're always after you for your claws or your scales, your eyeballs or whatever. It's gnarly. Why does anybody need like a dwarf teeth to make their magic items? I feel like unfairly targeted.
I'm sure that some people do.
So you think these jack-o'-lanterns are going to come and try to kill me?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, uncool.
The problem is that I'm also trying to get to the treasure, and I don't know what they'll need.
When you say that, he takes like a little step back and he's like,
"No, I don't like. No, it's fine."
You see, there's a little crackle of like electricity around his nose and his mouth.
Let me rephrase. I'm also looking for the treasure, but I am doing it in such a way that I don't want to cause you any trouble or harm.
Do you know what they need?
I don't, unfortunately.
But you're here to get it before them.
Well, I'm more here to warn you that they might come looking for you. If they can't find you, they can't open the vault. Therefore, it at least becomes a stalemate.
And he says,
"Do you have any idea what the object might be?"
Well,
I was hoping you might know something about the vault.
Yeah,
Honestly.
he shakes his head and he says, I mean, you're barking up the right tree, or seaweed, I guess, because if anybody knows things about treasure, it's dragons, especially trickily hidden treasure. It's very, very draconic. But I'm just kind of getting started, getting my horde together and stuff. So, I mean, all right, let me see. If I were to put together a horde and protect it with magic, what would I? Well,
let me call up my slightly dumber but maybe more knowledgeable friend, Bill S. Preston.
Yeah, right. Let me just get in this phone booth.
The voice is just getting there.
Yeah, he's getting more Keanu as we go. So he says, well, I mean, it doesn't sound like it's a weapon, because you don't use weapons to protect things. I mean, you can in like a more metaphorical sense, but so you probably don't need a claw or a tooth.
Also, if they wanted to open the vault more than once, whoever made this vault, Never Ember, I don't know if you know him, but regardless, if they wanted to open this vault more than once, it would have to be something that they could readily acquire or have many of if whatever the object is consumed.
Yeah, and he nods. He's like,
in the making of the key.
Right, so something I've got lots of that we might use to protect something. You can see him like trying to fucking figure it out.
And there's this moment where I'm like thinking, and then I look at him and I'm like, I have the answer. Like you can see in Eric's searches, he's got the answer.
As soon
he's
as
like still thinking.
As soon as you're about to answer, and it's like the really awkward, like, I've got it. And then someone else just says the thing that you're thinking, you're like, shit, I wanted to get it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, scales. Give scales.
Yeah, I mean, who says that?
8.
8, so you're like, so what do you say, 8?
I'm like literally like breathing in to say the answer, and then 8 says it.
Yeah. It's scales. Defensive.
I think you're probably right.
And he nods, and he says, well, I do have quite a lot of those. Like, kind of gestures with his arms. But, I don't know. How do I know it's not going to fall into the wrong hands and you use it to track me and then I'll get killed by some kind of paladin asshole? These things happen. My parents warned me. They were like, nights are a bad time. You don't want that stuff.
I hate paladins.
But paladins. I mean...
He just gives you a little fist bump, like, yeah, right on.
Yeah. Let's examine our history together, Zelfarn. I came to you, spoke reasonably, negotiated a better solution, and here we are. You're in that better solution. Nobody's bothered you except for me, once again, because, I mean, I needed to make sure you were safe. I don't want to do you any harm, and I don't plan to do you any harm in the future. If the scale were to fall into the wrong hands, it would be very much against my will, and I'd probably be dead. So,
make a persuasion check.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Probably best.
Nice. Okay. So he's like nodding when I listen to you, and he says, your arguments are sick and filled with truth. I think I can trust you. And he's like, let me see here. I got a loose one somewhere. And you can see him like, he kind of like shakes. Scratching. Yeah, he kind of shakes, and he's like, there we go. And he like
does that cat thing with his back leg where he like,
yeah. And he's like, here you go. And he like reaches back and he snaps out his claws, and he goes, like, damn, here. And he holds it out, and it's like, like just a little one, like about this big, one of the like underneath scales. It's beautiful. Like just the light from the continual light spell hitting it. It gives out this bluish kind of like part. When you hold it at one side, it's like the sky, like this deep kind of like blue of the sky, and then you hold it this other way, it's this shining bronze. And he like gives it to you.
I take it and say, now if I were you, I'd lie low. You know, make sure that whoever comes looking for you next, you give them a much nastier greeting.
And he nods and he says, oh yeah, not to worry about that. I heard there was some expedition from going to Mastica. They're trying to get a bunch of treasure, so maybe I'll go knock over some of their boats.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. I would do that.
And he nods and he says, well, cool. Enjoy my cast-offs and your magic. I hope you make a ton of money.
I hope so too.
Right on, dude.
Yeah. Nice. He's like, later, robot bro. See you later, Rin. And he like swims away.
All right. Well, I turn to 8 and I go, back to the surface.
Very well done. Nicely convinced.
I think it worked out.
Cool.
Bronze dragon scale.
Yeah, it's bronze dragon scale. All right, so we scene shift again. Everybody mark inspiration, and
I'm so glad I used mine.
Yeah, you're back at town. In your house. You're headed back to your house. And when you get there, you're like going inside, and I think that probably Rin, you and 8 return a bit later. 8's already gone inside, but Rin, you're about to go inside when all of a sudden you hear faintly in the distance muted trumpet, but you hear a voice say, "I've got something for you." And
I turn around.
Yeah, and he's just right there.
Trench coat with his cigarette.
Yeah. He just exhales in your face. And he flicks his cigarette off screen. And he says, now if you get caught with this, you didn't get it from me. And he reaches into his trench coat of holding, and he pulls out paper wrapped like a packet. It's a little like rectangle. He hands it to you.
I take it. What is it?
He says, oh, I think you'll find it very interesting. Your mark dropped it. And you can see when he says that, he like gives you a little wink, like, he didn't drop it, I stole it. I stole it from him, he didn't drop it. And he says, but you gotta know, you're not the only one keeping an eye on the Castellanters.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Do you know who else?
The Xanathar's Guild and the Zentarum both. I'm pretty sure I saw somebody skulking around on the roof, too.
All right. Well,
Until they fell asleep inexplicably.
Sounds good. I'll check this out and get back to you.
And he looks at it, and he looks at you, and he says, you're walking down a dangerous road. Be careful where it takes you.
my first instinct response was, it's not a dangerous road. It's a lonely road. The only one that I have ever known.
Right. Good. The only way to defeat corny film noir detectives is with pop punk lyrics.
All right. I would just like to say that as soon as you enter the house, from almost like before the door, there's just like purple robes and stuff like that have slowly been littered. Like the second,
it looks like a priest of Lyra exploded.
Yeah.
So you go inside, and Rin, you have this package from Trench.
Yeah, and I put it on the table, and I'm like, my contact. I say, assuming everyone knows who that is. Just gave me this outside. You see what it is?
And he's just like standing outside the window, looking inside, like monologuing to himself, like, in another life we could have been friends. Maybe a different world, but not this one. In this world, and he's like just talking to himself, standing outside the window.
Like pull the cord on the string or whatever.
Okay.
Is it wine? Because I need more wine.
It isn't. It's not. It's a book. You unwrap it. It's a small, like a leather chapbook. It's got the Castellanter like sigil on the cover, and it has a little like lock on it.
Okay. I don't have a key, presumably.
You do not.
But I turn to Jewel and I go, "Think you can open this?"
Oh yeah, I can do it. So like Jules like has a cowlick, the sort of thing that you get after you go for like several hours. Yes, she will take her thieves' tools and attempt to.
Would you like the inspiration on it? Because if we don't, then we're going to lose the lead.
I mean, there are other ways you could try to get it open. It's just a locked journal.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's up to you if you want to use your inspiration on it.
I chose not to.
Yeah.
So hopefully
we
get that 20.
You just look at it funny and it goes boing and it springs open.
Like, and like stick something in it.
Yeah. Okay. So
Rolling fascinating today.
Yeah, no problem. Jules just like bam, done. Problem solved. So you open the book. It appears to be a journal, the journal of one Victoro Castellanter. And at a quick glance, it contains mostly dry observations on atlases of Faerun and history books. Little bits and pieces. But if you'd like to further investigate the journal, like dig into his reading, you certainly can.
I would, of course. Yeah. Reading journals is my whole jam.
Yeah, right. You're like, damn. Okay.
I love this.
Okay. Yeah. Does anybody want to help?
Sure. Jewel will stare awkwardly over Rin's shoulder, like, so what's it?
So the two of you, yeah, you'll take some time like digging in. Okay. So while you're doing that, Makara, you can get drunk.
I go behind the bar and get one of my 2 remaining bottles of wine and start drinking it. Yes.
Okay. All right. So Rin, make an investigation check with advantage. You got Jewel's help.
Okay, I'm not particularly good at these actually, but
well, how much do we want to get stuff from it? right? I could just like help you out if you want, like my Lord Merkel's assist.
You do have a spell that assists in skill
that would
checks.
certainly
Yeah.
be useful, yeah.
So I'm getting my wine and I'm like, how long do you intend to stare at that thing?
As long as it takes to unlock whatever secret is in here. Sometimes
If
that takes days, sometimes that takes minutes.
If that takes less time, can we go to get more wine?
Yes.
Guidance.
Okay. All right, Rin. So you have guidance.
Okie doke.
I love that Makari is like Makari is like a child negotiating over ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
exactly. Nice. Okay.
21.
So it's not a long book, and it's all mostly notes, right? He doesn't write in a weird shorthand or in code. There's a lot of observations on. He seems interested particularly in the new world. So like Chult or Mastica. There's notes from atlases and his like reading travel journals. He hates Volo. Like there are several notes in the book that are like that fool Geddarm. Or like read another Volothamp. Why do I submit myself to this horror? And so in it though, there are some other notes that seem unrelated to his reading. Some months ago, there's a note that says, etched in the margins, "Never Ember's dragons are an answer to our prayers." And then one that is a few days ago that says, "The Castellanter Mausoleum, inform YG." And then as recently as I guess it would have been like a day or a day and a half ago, it says, "Galore is an aboleth!" ! Now it all makes sense. After that, the only notes that you find are, he says, "Whole family, terrible nightmares, but a price that must be paid if we are to have what's ours." And then there's a list. One thing is crossed off, or actually two things are crossed off, and there's some other notes about it. So the three things on the list are Bar of Adamantine, Bronze Dragon Scale, and Shapeshifter. Shapeshifter is crossed off. Adamantine Bar is crossed off. And on the next to the Adamantine Bar, there are a bunch of notes about different blacksmiths, and then a circle around the one that they chose in the end. And the Bronze Dragon Scale, he's just noted further research required. Where are we going to find a bronze dragon? ?
So he has the shapeshifter because he's got his doppelganger friend. And he
Yep.
has the
We shouldn't have killed that mimic.
I mean,
and he has the adamantine bar. Well, he doesn't have it yet. It's being made.
Do you think we could find another mimic?
Maybe. But this is important. We got the scale right. I say, like, showing
Yes.
just briefly the scale and like put it away. We still don't know where the vault is.
Did you know that when we were in the jail and you were holding that stupid rock, none of us could sleep?
No, I didn't know that. I don't remember holding the rock. I don't remember the rock existing.
I had the most horrific nightmares about the ocean that I wish to never repeat ever again.
Well,
They were unpleasant nightmares, yes.
maybe that's what the nightmares, the whole family having nightmares means.
Hmm.
And Galore being an aboleth, that makes sense.
I don't know what that means.
An aboleth is a water-dwelling, mind-reading, controlling squid thing.
Does that have anything to do with where we'll find this?
I doubt it, but they know a lot of things.
so you know now the three objects they're looking for, which, if you assume they are keys to the vault, that's a good start. You don't know where the vault is, but you're also not sure if the Castellanters know that either.
We would assume that
I assume
the
it was
stone was the one thing that was like,
Yeah.
Yes, it does seem that the Stone of
And the fact
Galore
that they
is
have a
revealing
list-
these things to Victorio Castellanter.
And the fact that they have a list of things suggests they know where to go to use that list of things.
Yes.
wait just one moment. You said the Growlhuns had a teleportation circle.
Correct.
Were the Growlhuns working with the Castellanters?
They were working with the Zentarum.
Not the Castellanters.
Correct.
Oh, well, forget that.
Where
I was
does-
just thinking
we
could
think
use it
they
to
might have been working with the Castellanters as well. Right?
Do we?
No. I do not believe so.
Or they were,
Unless
and
they're
then
part
they
of the same
double-crossed them.
cult.
Perhaps.
Because I think they were double crossing the Zentarum and trying to get it to the Castellanters.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's first solve this shapeshifter problem. Are there any other things that can be shapeshifters that aren't that awful doppelganger?
Trench is pretty out of place. I'd be surprised if he wasn't a shapeshifter.
What?
Everybody's a goddamn shapeshifter.
I mean, he's like a private eye from the future.
Right. Well, would a mimic be a shapeshifter?
Would a druid be a shapeshifter?
I don't know. Can we like do some? Like,
How is a raven like a writing desk?
ah, yeah. Can I do like a any kind of check to be like these things might count as like shapeshifters?
I mean, the logic of a magical riddle, like, you don't know, but it just says a shapeshifter.
A wizard of significant power could also be a shapeshifter. Give me a
Weren't you
scroll and
once a
I could be a
shapeshifter?
shapeshifter. Like,
Yeah, I think like Jewel
wait,
looks at
wait,
Rin and we're like, weren't you once a shapeshifter? Haven't you
it's-
shape? Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Is
don't like
that still a
talking about my
secret?
feathered days.
Okay.
Mm.
It's the name of Ren's autobiography.
I wonder if that.
My feathered days.
My feathered days.
I
mean,
well-
a person who has been shapeshifted and back, might have maybe.
I'd count.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, we need the adamantine.
If you,
regardless.
Makari, if you want to make a like an Arcana check or something to think about like what a shapeshifter, what would qualify. Rin also like, because you both like have some.
Well, can we?
familiarity
Yeah,
with
can we just be
magic.
having this discussion?
Yeah, sure.
And
I'll totally
one,
work
yeah, you roll.
or whatever. If that.
You want to roll, and I'll just like be like bouncing ideas off of you. What about?
I will use the inspiration I just gained moments ago.
You don't need to because I'm
Oh
helping
wait,
you.
you're helping.
Yeah, you
You're
got
right.
help. You're okay.
I need it. 22.
22. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like when you think of shapeshifters or shape changers, obviously doppelgangers. Many creatures that naturally have multiple shapes, right? People who have been subjected to lycanthropy, right? Were rats, were tigers, were wolves,
Right.
etc.
Wear things.
Yeah, where things are shape changers. Yeah, a person who has been polymorphed probably is not a shape changer, given that it is a person who has been shape
It's
changed.
not their talent.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's not the magic doing it. It's like them doing it would makes them a shape changer,
I
right?
think so. Yes, but well, somebody who has their own magic to shape.
Right, a druid might
A druid
count.
might count.
Yeah.
A
that's-
wizard with the appropriate ability to shape change themselves might count.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, do we know anywhere rats, werewolves, where tigers, where ravens?
I have information relevant, though obtaining one of the people from my home plane might be somewhat
That
difficult.
seems.
Yeah, right. Like where you're from, they're everywhere.
Just things.
Yeah,
They're just
incredibly common. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not currently capable of extraplanar travel.
Honestly, if Macaria opened a planar doorway and was like, "Let's go, guys," I would never go through it.
Holy shit!
Never. That is a
Well,
one-way trip
maybe-
to the bone zone.
Maybe your best friend, the black staff, can help you with extraplanar travel.
The black staff is currently occupado avec Thay, so not available for assisting with magic.
All right. Well, I think the most important thing that we need to do right now is keep an eye on that adamantine bar and its
Yes.
creation, as well as find out where this vault is. If they know where it is, they will go there at some point. If we follow them there and they have all of the tools to open it, other than the bronze scale, which we have, then we're good. We're good to go.
Sure. Continue stalking the Castellanders.
As loath as I am to suggest it, the most likely place to find an unusual individual with traits of this kind is likely the Yawning Portal.
Yes, let's go to the portal. You did say we were going to get more wine. Let's go get more wine.
And Trench did say that the Zentarum were also tracking.
And Durnan has been here for so long. I'm sure he knows somebody who's a shape changer. Is that racist to ask if someone's a shape changer?
I mean, yeah, I feel like if you're like, hey, Durnan, do you know anybody who isn't what they appear to be? He'd be like, have you met my friend Floon? So, yeah, I mean, yeah, you could go and ask around.
Yeah, let's go to the Yawning Portal and get drunk.
Yeah, okay.
And also, I guess, maybe ask questions of people, I guess. It's
Okay,
fine.
you want to head for the Yawning Portal?
Yeah, we'll go there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, you head to the Yawning Portal. Let me carry you over there. And this is because let's see, it was the evening of the evening of Flame Rule 8, right? So it's like proper. I believe this is festival day. I believe it's Lyra's night. Going to the bar on the day of, it's packed. It is like full to the gills. You've never seen it so busy in here. There's barely like moving room. There's shouting and cheering and yelling, and people are singing and praying, and like it's a whole ass thing. Everything in here is like bright pink and magenta, and there are sparklers on the ceiling. Yeah, sorry, it's the 7th. Yeah, the night of the 7th. So it's Lyra's night, and you arrive, and it is in full swing. So yeah, what are you gonna do?
Do you think it's busy enough that I could knock someone into the portal and have no one notice?
Jesus, that'd be a bummer. Like,
Why?
well, party's over. Somebody fell in the Yawning Portal. They probably have like a protective barrier around it right now. Yeah.
I was just asking. It was merely hypothetical. I need
Yes,
some
hypothetical
alcohol.
murder. What you need to do is ask about who we might find that may be helpful to us in the near future. What you
yes.
could do is drink after that.
Or during. And I head to the bar immediately.
Okay. All right. So you head over to the bar. There is a barmaid there. You recognize her, I think. You've met her before. Her name is Bonnie. And she has her face painted, so she has little like sparkles on her cheekbones, and she's wearing a bright purple dress, and then she's got her apron over top of it, and she's laughing and smiling and like passing out drinks, and she's having a great time. And you walk up, and she sees you, and unlike most of the other people here, she doesn't scowl when she does.
Oh, lovely.
And
hello.
and she says, she does like a theatrical bow, and she says, good Lyra's night to you, Macaria. Welcome to the Yawning Portal. We're a bit busy. And she turns and she's like, all right, Mert, all right, I'll be over in a minute. And you can see Mert, the moneylender, and a bunch of his friends sitting over at a table, and he's waving jovially. She turns back to you, and she says, what can I get for you?
Whatever is the most palatable and the least expensive.
And she kind of squints at you. And she says, right, yes, of course. And she turns around and goes to get you
is
some
Durnan
wine.
around?
She says, he's not. And imagine this, I'm not going to yell the whole time, but imagine this conversation is pitched way louder than it is because it's so loud in here.
Yeah, obviously.
Actually, he's not. I haven't seen him all night. I assume he's busy with something or other.
He's not here on one of the busiest nights of the summer.
And she nods. I know, it's strange. He loves Lyra's night.
Yes, he does. When's the last time you saw him?
She says, yesterday, I think. Why?
Did he say anything about not being here?
No, but Durnan comes and goes. That's how he is.
Suspicious.
Is the sword gone?
Oh, yeah, it's
No,
Durnan's
it is hanging above the mantle.
Okay.
Because that like changes the tone of gone.
Yeah.
significantly.
All right. Well, I suppose and I look around to see if Rin or like probably Rin is like anywhere near me.
I suppose I'm probably nearby because we're supposed to be doing something here, and if I just leave you to do your own shit, you'll just drink and do nothing.
Yes. Rin,
Yes.
Durnan's not here.
All right.
Should we
There are a lot of
do
other.
you know a lot of the clientele,
She nods.
Miss whoever you are?
She rolls her eyes. She says, "We've had this conversation before. My name is Bonnie."
Was I drunk at the time?
Yes.
That's probably why I don't
But you
remember.
almost always are. I figured that was just how you were.
Yes.
Anyway, no, Durnan's not here. And you can hear like someone at the other end of the bar is like, "Bonnie!" And like you've taken up a ton of her time and she's getting all flustered.
Okay, dear. Just one last question. Do you know of anyone that we might hire that can shift their appearance?
Rin and Makaria both make an insight check.
Okie doke.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
Insight.
I'm gonna roll.
Oh,
2
I
d10.
didn't. I accidentally didn't. I'll do it
Yeah,
again.
roll again. You might do better than 17.
I don't.
You don't. Okay. All right. For just a second, she gets a look of like panic in her eyes, and then it goes like just for a second, and she says, "Oh no, I don't know anyone like that. Excuse me." And she goes away. She takes her money and she goes away to like attend to somebody else.
I follow.
See her and Durnan in the same place.
No, I go to follow.
Hey,
after
you
her.
caught me. Sometimes like to shapeshift into the form of a wee lass.
I go to follow after her, and I tell
Good
Rin to
judge.
get 8.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, she's not going anywhere. She's just going back and forth between customers.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure that she doesn't like, because she looked panicked. Like, I don't know, like usually panicked people try and skedaddle or whatever. I don't know.
I go and grab 8 and I bring him back. I'm like, I don't really know what for because Macarius
Yeah.
is like, go get 8. I'm like, all right.
The
Oh, you rolled a 10. You didn't see it, or did you?
No. Rin didn't pick it up.
When you come back with 8, then I will say she's lying. She
it
hasn't.
has lovely purple face paint. It's like let some drop person just draw like
Right. It's
stuff.
like, so 8 walks up and 8 looks like he got lost at Woodstock for a minute. He's got like daisies painted on him and like streamers hanging all over him. He looks like a
Who
maypole.
are you?
I am getting into the spirit of the festivities.
I don't even know you anymore. Anyway, that woman was lying when we asked her if she knew anyone who could change their shape. She panicked a bit. We should question her.
You feel confident in pressing this particular line of questioning?
I may be exaggerating, but she definitely wasn't just, no, I don't know anything. Everything's fine. Let me go serve this other customer. She was upset by the question.
It's strange to be upset by it, unless perhaps she is capable of something and thinks we've.
Or maybe she's protecting someone she knows who is capable of something. I don't know. Anyway, it
Jewel,
just
can you make a perception check? You're the only one not like actively engaged in this conversation, so you've got a better idea of kind of what's going on.
use your inspiration or don't.
Okay. Jewel, while Makaria, Rin, and 8 are talking, you're kind of keeping an eye on things. You see the aforementioned barmaid, and she's watching, and she's way too far away, and it's way too loud in here for her to be eavesdropping. But you can see her, and she's looking like she's listening to what they're saying. And then when Makari's like, we should question her, she slips into the back.
Joel's gonna follow. She's like, oh, that's my cue. And she just disappears into the crowd.
Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna like jump the bar or like slip under the
Yeah.
Thing and like just head back there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
Cool. Well, let's grab our second break here then, and you can pursue Bonnie the barmaid into the back of the bar, where she'll shape change back into Durnan and kill you with her sword.
But then we'll know, and it'll be totally worth it.
That's right. All right, stick around. We will be right back with more.